Welcome everyone to this video about the first paragraph of chapter 6, 6.1, which is about calculating with percentages. And this is going to be your bread and butter for this chapter, because after this you have to apply your knowledge of this in, I think, all the questions that you will get in the project as well. And I'm going to explain all the theories of 6.1 in this one video. They all look a bit the same, you can say. And the first one is calculations with percentages increase and decrease. Let's say that Fit for All gym increases the membership prices by 5% and then is used to pay 40 euros per month for his membership. So you can say that he starts out with 40 euros and 5% is being added, right? So what you can do is you can calculate 5% of 40. We know how we can do that, right? 5% of 40 is 0.05 times 40 equals 2. If you don't understand this calculation here, take a look at the video of the prior knowledge, please. So divide this by 100 times 40 gives me 2 euros. But remember, this is just the increase. I'm not only talking about the increase here, I'm talking about the new price. The new price is 40, what I started with, plus that 2, is 42 euros per month. And you can do this in one calculation. If you want to punch this into your calculator, type in 40, what you start with, plus the extra new bit, 0.05 times 40, right? And if you punch it in like this, you'll get 42 in one go. And for example, an increase of 12% gives you a new amount of new. The new price is equal to the old price plus 0.12 times old. So this formula you can use a lot. Of course, the 0.12 changes every time because now it's an increase of 12. If it's an increase of 10, and it will be 0.1. If it's an increase of 80%, then 0.80. Right? So for example, if we have a question like this, before I'm going to do a question, by the way, you can do the same thing with decreases. So let's say you have a discount of 15% on watches and the watch used to cost 128%. What you now will do is calculate 15% of 128. So that's 15 converted to decimal numbers is 0.15 times 128. Then you get a number, and instead of adding that, we now subtract that from the old price, right? So 128, your old price, minus 0.15 times your old price, and you get 108 euros and 80 cents. So this formula looks a lot like this one. Instead of plus, there's a minus here. You calculate the decrease in the last part, and here you subtract that from the old price, and here you add it to the old price. Right? So if you get questions like this, the first thing that you should do is take a look. Are they asking about an increase, or are they talking about a decrease? If a bicycle shop gives you a 27.5% discount, I think I will pay less, right? If that bike normally costed 899 euros and 50 cents, you can now calculate the decrease by taking this price, the old price, minus, now it converts this to decimal number divided by 100. So it's going to be 0.275 times the old price, 899.50, is approximately, because we round in euros to the nearest cent, 652.14. This is your answer your calculator gives you. Remember, for money, we always round to cents. Okay, that's theory A. For theory B, we're going to take a look at something different. We're going to take a look at calculating percentage increases. And to take a look at that first, this example here, let's say you have the price of a pizza and it goes up from 8 to 11 euros. We all agree that the price increase is 3 euros, right? And if the price of a jacket goes up from 85 to 88, then the price increase is also 3 euros. But maybe you agree with me that although they both have the same increase, relative to the original price, this is a lot larger of an increase. 3 euros on a price of 8 euros, or 3 euros on an original price of 85 euros. And that's what we're going to take a look at now. Here you have to calculate the increase. What you have to do is you're going to calculate the increase in percentage in comparison to the old price. We're going to take a look at how much percentage increase there is if I increase my price from 8 to 11 or from 85 to 88. What you do in that case, and here they used slightly different examples, 18 and 23 and 78 and 83. What you're going to do is you're going to compare that increase to the original price. Well, the original price was the old price, right? So how you can do that? Well, for example, for the t-shirt, the increase is 5 euros, old is 18. Now your percentage increase is 5 divided by 18 times 100%. So my percentage increase is a whopping 27.8%. That's quite a lot. Well, here with the code, it also increased with 5 euros. But if I compare that to the old price, so I divide it by old, I find that the price increase in percentages is only 6.4%. And the book says you can calculate this percentage increase by doing percentage increase equals increase divided by old times 100%. And this is the first time that numbers in space describe this formula like this. In all the versions, this percentage increase is always given with this formula. New minus old divided by old times 100%. But do you all agree that for an increase, new minus old is the same as the increase, right? So they could say they abbreviated it here. Instead of writing new minus old, immediately writing down increase. Can use this one as well, does the same thing. This works slightly different with a decrease though. So that's why I think they went to this, because now a decrease it's a bit more, I think for most students less confusing. So both formulas do the same. The book uses this one, of course. This is from the older versions. So for example, if an e-reader started with 79 euro and then cost 87 euro next week, what is the increase? Well, the increase is the difference between those two, right? 87 minus 79, the increase is 8. So the percentage increase is 8 divided by the old price. Remember, what's the old price? Not 87, but 79. So 8 divided by 79 times 100% equals approximately 10.1%. So don't forget to now use the correct number for old. Instead of increase, we sometimes also say absolute increase, and instead of percentage increase, we sometimes say relative increase. In Dutch, this is called een absolute toename, absoluut als in cijfers, en relatief toename, de relative increase, heeft eigenlijk te maken met wat nou als ik mijn toename vergelijk met mijn originele prijs. Relatief betekent in vergelijking met. So relative here means that I'm going to compare my increase to my old price. Right, this is a number. The absolute increase here, for example, was 8 euros. The relative increase was 10.1%. So new minus old is also known as the increase, or also known as the absolute increase. And increase divided by old times 100% is also known as the relative increase. This will come back in the project as well quite some times. So be careful about the difference. Well, so when I have a decrease, well, don't you worry. This formula is almost exactly the same. Now the new price, you can say, is lower than the old price. You can still calculate the decrease by now doing old minus new, you can say, right? 459 minus 399. Then the decrease is 60 euros. And now instead of doing increase divided by old, we do decrease divided by old, right? And that's it. So the percentage decrease is decrease divided by all times 100%. For increase, it was increase divided by all times 100%. Those formulas look quite the same. Example, there were 388 councils in the Netherlands on January 1st, 2015, and on January 1st, 1970, that's earlier in time, right, there were still 913. And with councils here, I guess they mean the Dutch word gemeente. Aantal gemeentes, vrij sterk afgenomen in Nederland. Calculate the percentage decrease in the number of councils between January 1st, 1970 and January 1st, 2017. So what's important here is first calculate the decrease. Wat is nou de afname? Afname is 913 min 388 is 525. Your decrease is 525. So what's your percentage decrease? That's what they ask for here. It is going to be decrease divided by old. What is the old thing here? This can go wrong quite quickly if you don't pay attention. What is the older price in history? Not 388 here, right? That was in 2017. I think 1970 is quite a bit older. So here you have to divide by 913. Be on the lookout for what is old. That's important in this question. And you calculate this and you get the answer, right? So I think that's it indeed. So you have those two new words, absolute increase and relative increase. Those three different kind of calculations, they are quite new. They will come back a lot in your project. So know what to do when they ask you to calculate the percentage increase or decrease and what's the difference between them. And of course, also know how to work with things like this, right? Here, if an increase happens, what is the new price? Also quite a bit different on an exercise here. Okay, I wish you all good luck and I will see you maybe in the next video. Let's go to the ends. Bye bye.